Hello again, this is Robert Veach, and this is my video review of a MedReady 1700 medication dispenser with flashing light. Now this is the Amazon page where you're going to be able to purchase this. And before I go into the setup and operation of this device, I wanted to show you how you can verify whether all these comments are valid comments. If you go to a website called fakespot.com, and all you do is you put in this link for this product in their link area, you paste it in there, and you hit analyze. And what it's doing is it's looking at all those comments to verify if they are correct and if they are trustworthy, not correct. So you can see this gets an A. It says over 90% are quality reviews. And this is a pretty extensive search engine. Now the reason I'm showing this is because there are a lot of copycats out there for similar products that might look like this, and they're just not that good, because if you go to FakeSpot, you'll see that they get low ratings, sometimes C, D's, and F's. So I'm just going to start this video with this information because I think this is really important.
Over the last half a year or so, we noticed that my mother-in-law was starting to forget to take her medication. And within the last 3 months, she needed more medication, so it was becoming even more complicated. So we needed to search for a locked medicine dispenser that would take all of the risk out of it, so that she can continue to live alone and take her medicine on her own without having the complexity of trying to figure out when she needs to take each pill. So after a lot of internet research, we decided to purchase the MedReady automated medication dispenser.
So included with this unit, there's a nice pamphlet, and you can see there's a support email address and a company name and a phone number. Now we called that number and we got instant support. So don't hesitate to call that number if you have any concerns. And this does carry a 1-year warranty, which is really nice. I want to point something out about the display. You're seeing a flickering because of the camera's shutter. But when you look at this display with your eyes, the user is not going to see that. That's only a camera phenomena. So when you first get the MedReady, take it out of the packaging, you're going to see that there's an included chargeable battery. On this battery, it has a connector, 2-pin connector. It only goes in one way into the device opening right there. Now this battery has a horizontal profile, so it's a little bit wider this way. This is the direction it goes in this way. That's the only way it fits, with a little bit of extra room there. So if you look at the electrical tab there, this only fits one way, and you're going to plug that in to that tab and push it down with your finger, and then place the battery inside the bay, just like that. Now the cover only goes in one way also. There's a slot right there, and there's a movable pin. I want to put it in just like that, and then drop it down. And make sure you push that forward, that little tab, till it clicks. Now this unit has an included 120 volt US plug adapter. You want to plug it into the wall, 120 volts. And on the other end of that, there is a connector. The positive is in the center, the negative is in the outer. This is a DC connector. And right above that battery bay, there is a port for you to put the 12 volts in. So you want to put that right there. Now you have to put this on this unit, or you will not be able to set the time for the next step. So just like that, you want to tuck it under that little plastic piece and have it exit out the back just like that. Now we have the unit powered on, and it's got a time showing right there. We can put this back on, and I'll just line that up to where the T-bar is and to the opening right there.
Okay, the first thing you need to do is to set the time for the unit. You can't set any alarms until the time is set properly. So right now it's about 2:05 p.m. So I'm going to go ahead, and I use 2 pencil erasers because my nails are too long to press these little buttons on the unit. If you want, you can use the template again, and it has the time set and the hour, minutes, AM, PM to help you, but I can see the gold lettering just fine without the template. So I'm going to go ahead and set this for 2:10 p.m., which is the time right now. So I'm going to depress the time set button, and I'm going to use another pencil to change the hours to 2 o'clock. So I've depressed it once, and it is 2:10, so I'm going to have to go all the way around. So I'm going to hold it down, and you can see if I press down on the button, it goes fairly quickly. 2:32. I want to go all the way around, and I'm just going to slow down, press it one at a time so I can get 2:10. And it's 2:10, it's 2 p.m., so I'm going to use the AM PM button to ensure that the red dot is showing up. The red dot means you're in PM. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to set one of the alarms. Let's set the alarm for my mother-in-law's morning medication. Hold down the first alarm button, and you can see that this alarm is currently set for 5:30 a.m. It's 5:30 a.m. because the AM PM light is not lit. That's a little bit too early for my mother-in-law, so I'm going to change it to 7:30. So I'm going to use my other pencil eraser and press down the hour button. Now it says 6:30, now 7:30, and I don't have to press the AM and PM button because it's already set for AM since the light is not lit. Okay, one very important thing to note is that even though we just set this first alarm for 7:30 a.m., it's actually not going to work. It's not going to dispense medication until I activate the alarm. The way to activate and deactivate is the same process, but you literally hold down that particular alarm button for about 4 or 5 seconds until a light appears above the alarm. And you can see the light. That means the alarm is activated. So in my mother-in-law's case, I would be setting alarms 1, 2, and 3, and before I walk away, I would make sure that all 3 lights are lit. And that way I'll have confidence that all 3 alarms are going to go off each day that she needs the medication. Okay, now let's go ahead and set the second alarm. I'm going to depress the second alarm button, and you can see that it says 11:30 a.m. in this case. I need to set this for 12:30 p.m. So I'm going to hold the second alarm button down and advance the hour. And to ensure it's set as 12:30 p.m., I'm just going to hit the AM PM button, and you can see the light gets lit. And now just to test it, I'm going to press the number 2 alarm and ensure it's set correctly, 12:30 p.m. And remember, this alarm isn't set unless you press this down for 4 or 5 seconds to enable the alarm. And you know it's enabled because the light is lit. Let's go ahead and set the third alarm. My mother-in-law takes her vitamins after dinner. So let's see what the third alarm is set for right now. 4:25 p.m. That's a little bit too early. So I'm going to go ahead and change this to 6:30 p.m. I'm going to change the hours to 6, and I'm going to change the minutes to reflect 6:30. And I can see the PM light is already lit, so I'm in the right spot. And again, make sure, in order to ensure that all 3 alarms are going to go off, the light is lit above each of the 3 alarms I need. That means that all 3 alarms are activated. The MedReady automated medication dispenser comes with a couple of templates. In my case, my mother-in-law takes medication 3 times a day. This is to help me fill the medication in the right cups. So I place it on top of the dispenser with the start lining up with the clock and the plastic T-bar. And this cup is always going to remain empty. And so the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 pattern in this scenario reflects the fact that my mother-in-law takes 1 medication in the morning when she wakes up, one set of medications, prescription medications, she takes later in the morning, and then she takes vitamins in the afternoon. The template will actually help you as you're filling it to know AM, midday, PM. AM, midday, PM. And you can see I have one medication in slot 1. I have 5 prescription medications that fit nicely in slot 2, and I have 4 of her vitamins in slot 3. And so you leave the template on until you're completely filled up the device for the time period that you're using, and you remove the template. Just wanted to mention a couple of other things. The MedReady dispenser has 28 cups available for dosages. If your family member takes medication once a day, then you would only fill the dispenser once every 28 days. Then, of course, if your family member took 2 different medications at 2 different times a day, then you'd fill the dispenser every 14 days or 2 weeks. In my case, my mother-in-law takes medication 3 times a day, so I'll have to fill it every 9 days. If your family member takes medication 4 times a day, then you would fill it once a week, every 7 days. Let's assume our pills are all filled up. Now, to close it and lock it, see there's notches along the outer part. I'm going to just gently put the cover on and move it around until it falls into place. And you can see that this is not lined up perfectly. The clock is out of alignment, and so is the dispenser. I'm just going to turn the cover counterclockwise, and then I'm going to turn the key from the 9 o'clock position counterclockwise to the 6 o'clock position. Okay, to unlock the MedReady dispenser, you take the key and you look at the notch, and you see that the notch hole is over here, and you line it up. It's at the 6 o'clock position, and you turn the key clockwise until it's pointing to the notch is pointing to the 9 o'clock position. To open the cover, follow the direction of the arrow and shift the cover to the right, and then just lift it up.
So aligning that up is important for this to work properly, and it's not the easiest thing to see every time, but you'll know if it's lined up properly, because when you put the cover on, like we showed, and you rotate to the left, you see how it's perfectly aligned right now? So if that's not aligned, then lift this back up and just lift it and drop it back in place until it's at the correct alignment position, so that you know it's correct alignment before you lock the unit and leave it in operational mode. I want to point out that the medicine bay holder, they mentioned is ramped for easy removal, and it'll fit up to 9 regular M&Ms. So that's a pretty large holder there, and the way they ramped it is really nice.
I wanted to show you one scenario that happens quite frequently for some family members. My mother-in-law often has doctor's appointments, and when we go for doctor's appointments, we sometimes go shopping and then have her over for dinner. So we don't want this alarm going off while she's not home, and we want to make sure that she's always taking her medication. So they have a feature that you can use to just turn the dispenser off for that time period that you're away. So I'm just going to press the hour button for 4 seconds, and you'll see the display change from the actual time to the word off. So that means that this unit will no longer alarm until I come back later tonight and turn it back on. To turn it back on, I would hold that same button down for 4 seconds. In this scenario, I'm going to take my mother-in-law's medication with me, and I'm going to be the one dispensing it to her at the right times. Okay, now it's later in the evening. I brought my mother-in-law home, and I want to make sure the dispenser is activated and will alarm starting tomorrow morning for her first dose of medicine. So again, I'm just going to press the hour button down for 4 seconds to change the word off to the actual time of day.
Okay, so we're at 1:29, and at 1:30 the alarm should go off. So you can see that it closed the door right here, and there's a bright LED, red LED, that comes on. And if you listen to the sound, it's a very lower frequency sound, kind of annoying on purpose so that the user really could hear it. Now this tray rotated. Now I'm going to open this up, and you can hear the alarm shut off, and there's the medicine for the user for that time period. Now, when the user opens this up, there is a clicking feeling, and they have to make sure that they push this up all the way because that's what turns the alarm off. So the alarm function, the duration of the alarm can be set according to the manual here. It can be set from 3, 10, 20, up to 250 minutes. The default setting is 30 minutes. So what's my overall opinion about the MedReady automated medication dispenser? This product takes a little time to get used to because you got to get used to the display and the mechanics of it. But once you see how to lock it and get it to work, it's quite simple to use and it's invaluable, safely dispensing medication for your family member. So I really like this product. I'm going to give it a full 5-star rating on my channel. Please remember to hit the subscribe button and the little bell icon so you're alerted to when I upload new video reviews. I hope this video review helped you with your buying decisions. Thanks for watching.